Podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the voice of the people. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
Welcome. You're now tuned into the Boxing Voice. ThaBoxingVoice.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I got a smile on my face. I tell you, I've been dying to do a show, and we just couldn't. I don't know. We couldn't pinpoint the right topic, and we kind of decided, you know what? Maybe today isn't the right day. It's the day after Thanksgiving.
People are traveling.
Everyone's with their family. Matt, don't get desperate. We're going to properly introduce you. Don't worry. He wants everybody to know he's here. Yes, Matt's here, and it is the day after Thanksgiving. You know, it almost feels like Christmas. You know, I got a smile on my face. I hear my daughter in the house. You know, I'm co-parenting, obviously. So whenever she's here, it's a good thing. And it feels like that day after Christmas or Christmas Day. And, you know, it's Christmas for you guys because you got this spontaneous show. But it's more than just that. This is a on-demand show. You haven't heard that in a while, but that does still exist. And this is an on-demand where our very own loyal listeners decide, you know what? TBV talks about all the topics, but I need to hear their opinion on this particular topic. And since TBV is always trying to bring you the latest, greatest up-to-date boxing news, it's kind of difficult to do what I like to call fantasy shows or fantasy topics, you know, pound for pound, and how Ali would have fared up versus Mike Tyson. Those are all fantasy. But this is fantasy with a twist, right? Because I guess for some it will be considered a reality, and that is top 5 pound for pound boxers active, though. Now I'm going to bring in my co-host because he's really making these rules and criteria on how we pick these top 5 as we go. But so what, right? So I'm going to pass the ball to him. I got some Dowie to roll up. You know, that's just my own little nickname for some sour. You know what I mean? Some Dowie. About to get to that because that shit is flames. I'm going to head on out to the Golden State. Where in January it's going to be you can truly call it the Golden State in January. But let's holler at the Hipster Hunter.
Dollar DiBiase production.
This is a beautiful performance against a very tough guy in Michael Johnson. How do you feel about it? Fuck that. Conor McGregor.
ThaBoxingvoice.com. You know me, Larry. From a wicked entrance, from a flip over the rope into a knock out now. When the main thing is, I just help the guy. I wish.
ThaBoxingvoice.com. That's the Hipsters here. Haters beware. Before I get to anything else, remember, we are less than 100 subscribers away from hitting 60,000 subscribers on YouTube. Remember to share the show, hit subscribe, tell your friends to subscribe. Because remember, when we hit 60K, a special Bob Arum interview does drop for free. That was on Patreon. If you don't know what that is, remember, patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice. And yes, of course, shout out to Pittsburgh Brew. Long time listener of the show, now a moderator of the show. So shout out to you in the chat. I mean, just, you know, all of a sudden just going, hey, I'll pay for a show. I want some TBV action in my life today. It's been a great day. You know, Pittsburgh won against some college team that I don't care about, apparently. So he's in a good mood. So shout out to Pittsburgh Brew, of course. But pound for pound, top 5 active. I know Ness is making some narrative that I'm making up rules or whatever, but just clear. Top 5 pound for pound boxers active today. Post-Mayweather era, specifically. And for this argument, of course, Mayweather is not in the discussion since we're going to assume that he's retired here. So that's the only rule. Active boxers, and you can't have Mayweather in it because it's the post-Mayweather era. So does a Canelo Alvarez get in there? Does Anthony Joshua get in there? Does Guillermo Rigondeaux get in there?
But what about Manny Pacquiao? Does he get in there?
I mean, there's argument.
Is he active? Is he retired? He just called Connor yesterday.
100% active. He just had a fight in this calendar year. And he also still wants to fight. He's calling out people. Mayweather had a fight this year, but He's not calling out anyone. He says he's retired, so I'm going to accept it for his word. Manny Pacquiao says he still wants to box, so let's assume Manny Pacquiao is still eligible for this list. Not saying he's on the list, but he is definitely eligible. And plus, we had Andre Ward, quote-unquote, retiring this year. We have Vasyl Lomachenko versus Guillermo Rigondeaux next month, or in a couple weeks, I should say. We have some action this year that makes us need to start having this discussion. Who is in this pound-for-pound list in this new generation?
Really, that was my problem with this show, Matt, that I don't think now is the time. Like you said, there's a lot of stuff moving, and until they actually become definitive answers, it's difficult. We have two quote-unquote, and I'm saying quote-unquote because a lot of other publications, people normally say phrases like Rigondeaux's pound for pound, Lomachenko's pound for pound. So that means we have two going up against each other. So how do you make this list? Do they really take up two spots? Are they number 5 and 4 or 1 and 2? Or
that's perfectly logical. I mean, if someone has that in their list where both of these guys are in the top 5, that makes complete sense. And I wouldn't have felt that. I mean,
no,
obviously, I have my own list. Obviously, I have my own list, and we're going to get to that. I assume maybe you have your own list, Ness.
I do not.
Wow, you didn't just think of one like before the show, really?
I didn't, simply because pound for pound is so whack, bro. It's just whack, man.
Okay, that's I mean, fair, I guess. I mean, I have a list. I don't know if you want to get to my list or you want to go into what makes pound for pound. Like, what is the criteria for pound? It's up to you, Ness.
I mean, yeah, what is the criteria, right? That's really what we need to know.
There's a combination. It's not just one thing. So obviously you have resume. Obviously you have level of competition, eye test, skills, age, speed, power, like all those things in this equation that each person has. I think everyone's equation is a little bit different. Some people might rate eye test and skills above resume. Some people might rate competition over everything else and resume over everything else. But they still obviously, put in eye test and skills, who is a good boxer. But yeah, I think there's multiple criteria for making pound for pound, but it's this weird equation that's super subjective, and that's why you can never get a universal consensus.
Well, we should be having a guest speaker on this topic in about a bit. If you see the Las Vegas number, let me know. He just texted, so just waiting on him. That's why I don't want to move on. Also, I want to hear his thoughts to kind of see if everyone is on the same page, with the criteria, right? And how does a person get here? And I also want to see if he's in the same boat as I am, where it's like it's just not the time, right? Like Wilder Joshua hasn't happened. Rigo versus Loma hasn't happened. I mean, Triple G and Canelo was a draw. I mean, I don't know. Ward retired. Crawford. That's someone I want to talk about before we move on. That's someone that people say, oh, he's pound for pound. He's pound for pound, right? So, like, I'll give Crawford credit for running through the lower divisions because you have to include 140. Not very many people do it like that. They run through like the lower divisions, top out 130s, 135s, but to come up on 4, that's that on 140 and 4 divisions. That's a lot, right? So is he pound for pound? Yeah, it could be argued that he's on the list, but is he top 5? And I believe in order to be top 5, he's got to show us that he can still be Terence Crawford at 47, I believe. I think that – go ahead.
That's definitely something that I won't really debate. Like that I'll put it this way. Terence Crawford's 100% in my top 5. I won't say where he's at yet, but he's 100% in my top 5. And I think a lot of people are going to say, whoa, wait and see. He hasn't reached the Keith Thurmans, the Earl Spence, the Sean Porters, the Danny Garcias. I understand that. And by the way, we do have Sean Sattel on. But like I said, Terence Crawford's 100% in my top 5 pound for pound. And I think it's very hard to argue that he's not in that top 5.
I don't think it's difficult to argue, right? Like, I know he posted himself and he's like, yo, I'm number 1 now that Ward's gone. But really, let's do it this way. And I know he already has issues, so this statement isn't going to lie well with him. But do we really believe that Keith Thurman won't do what Crawford did to every single live body that Crawford did it to?
True. But that doesn't mean that Thurman beats Crawford.
No. It doesn't. But that's not the conversation, is it? The conversation is that based off Crawford's resume, he is number 1 since Andre Ward left, according to him and others.
Now, if you throw Thurman's resume up there and you have Crawford go through all those names, you can make argument he beats all of them.
I don't know. There are plenty of people that you already see that say they're dying to see that Sean Porter fight.
And there's people that think Sean Porter beat Keith Thurman.
Exactly. So that's my point. So to say that Crawford could beat Porter when Thurman has that already debunks your theory trying to say, oh, Crawford could do the same thing that you're saying Thurman could do to Crawford's resume. Crawford could do it to Thurman's. He can't. It's a question right there up in the air. Can he beat Sean Porter? We don't know definitively that he can't, because even you, even you continue to push the narrative that, quote unquote, some people have Sean winning.
Yes, there are some people that have Sean winning, and that's not a myth. There are those out there. I'm not one of them, but there are those out there. And again, I think if you're saying that because Thurman had a close, controversial fight, I'm using air quotes, controversial fight with Sean Porter.
I'm not saying that. You keep saying that. That's your narrative.
No. Just let me finish. Because of that, I can't say Crawford would beat. I don't understand that logic. I don't understand that phrase that you have.
No, not that logic. This is my point. You yourself, right, feel Thurman lost to Porter, right?
No, I don't. Me, myself, I thought Thurman beat Porter.
Okay, so you're saying, so why do you always bring up that narrative? That makes no sense.
There are some people out there.
You want to be devil's advocate. Listen, the bottom line is you don't think.
No, I know. I think JP is one of them.
Listen,
I think he thought Sean Porter beat Keith Thurman. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I believe that's what he said.
Does Crawford beat Sean Porter in your opinion right now?
Right now, yes.
Wow. Well, I mean, look, there's nothing else to say. I think it's time to bring on our guest speaker, Sean Zettel, a.k.a. Shawnee Z. What's going on, Sean? Talk to us, man.
What's going on, fellas? Happy Friday. Happy late Thanksgiving, too.
Oh, God, Sean, tell me you're on speaker so that you could get off of it, because you sound not good.
Okay, I tried to do the headphone thing, but it just so
this sounds way better.
Yeah, I'm gonna just ditch the headphones. But yeah, happy late Thanksgiving to everybody.
Likewise, buddy.
You, brother.
Okay, so the name of this is for top 5 pound for pound. That's what the people paid for, right?
Yes.
So I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. Okay, I think my top 5 is gonna look probably a good bit different than most people. You know, instead of everybody getting the same old, same old. Now, I want to mention that I'm not really factoring in resume all that much. I'm going off who I think the best fighters are, and I'm giving guys extra points for extra weight, for guys that I feel are beating guys that are bigger than them, competing in different weight classes. So either I just think they're really, really good, or I'm giving them a little bit of extra points because the name of the game is pound for pound. So at number 1 and 2, undisputed, I got Terence Crawford, number 1, Lomachenko, number 2. I think Crawford's the best all-around fighter in the sport, and Lomachenko's right behind him. Here's where the curveball comes. At number 3, I got Jermall Charlo. Okay? And Jermell's pretty good too. But I think Jermall Charlo, when middleweight division's so stacked right now with Daniel Jacobs and Gennady Golovkin and Demetrius Andrade and Canelo Alvarez and the winner of Lemieux and Saunders, but I think Jermall Charlo beats them all. So that's my opinion. Number 4, I'm going to give it to Mikey Garcia. And that's where I talk about multiple weight classes coming into play. Because there's a guy that started at featherweight, and now he's beating junior welterweights, and we're even talking about him fighting welterweights. It's too bad he didn't take that fight with Lainez for political reasons. I think most of us think he would have beat Lainez. but he's already a 3-division champ with a win over Broner at 140. That's pound for pound supposed to count, going up classes like that. And then at number 5, Earl Spence, because he is just so technically and fundamentally sound. He has a good chin. He cuts the ring off. He goes to the body beautifully, power in both hands. And he's so fundamentally sound and so big and strong at welterweight and in his prime. Honorable mentions, Anuye, Canelo, Jermel, Rigondeaux, Triple G, and Keith Thurman. What you guys got for me?
Sean, I thought you were
disrespect.
hold on very quickly. I thought me and Sean were going to have a very similar list. And then he got to number 3. And then number 4. And then number 5. And I was like, nope. You went off on a tangent there with your projection. Look, if you're saying your criteria is purely technique, purely eye test, then yeah, I think that's a genuine top 5. But if you include resume, it's hard to put some of those guys in there right now. It just is.
It is. I agree. But Crawford, we talk. A lot of people talk. Like Ness was saying, you'd favor Thurman to beat all the guys Crawford beat, right? That's absolutely true. But Thurman's a welterweight. He ain't a lightweight, and he ain't a super lightweight. And there's a reason why if Crawford beat Thurman right now, he'd be clear cut number 1. And it's because of everything he's accomplished up until this point. I don't know if Thurman beats Crawford. He probably is number 1 pound for pound, but it's not as clear cut as it is if Crawford cleans out 147.
Agreed.
And then Lomachenko, and then Lomachenko with Walters and Gary Russell, especially Gary Russell. Those are a couple of pretty underrated wins, and he dominated both guys. And I also think he'll show in a couple weeks when he'll defeat Guillermo Rigondeaux, and that should put an end to a lot of critics about his resume for now. I think his real super fight is with Mikey Garcia down the line. Rigondeaux, I think, is a couple pounds too high, a couple years too late, but we'll have to see.
The problem with Lomachenko is that while he has some good to great wins, he has no pound for pound wins. Guillermo Rigondeaux at least has 1 pound for pound guy on his resume in Nonito Donaire. Gary Russell wasn't pound for pound. Nicholas Walters wasn't pound for pound. Roman Martinez wasn't pound for pound. Like Lomachenko needs to beat a pound for pound in order to be pound for pound, arguably.
So Crawford doesn't have to?
Well, he doesn't have a loss. That's the one thing that Crawford has that Lomachenko doesn't. Lomachenko has a loss. Crawford doesn't. So Crawford doesn't need to prove it as much.
Well, real quick, too, though. Donaire, while I agree he was top 5 pound for pound at the time Rigo took his soul, just about, a year later, he fought Nicholas Walters and got knocked out. And I understand that's coming off the loss to Rigo, but Lomachenko made the guy quit that knocked out Donaire, not decisioned him like Rigondeaux. You know what I mean? So he dominated a guy that is Rigondeaux's best win.
Yeah,
that beat Rigondeaux's best win. So that counts for something.
In boxing, time off means something. And your guy, Lomachenko, got in the ring with Walters off of more than an 8-month loss. Wait, whatever the phrase is, I forgot her. I'm drawing a blank here. Help me, Matt.
Ring rest?
Yeah. 8 months off. He was laid off. So it's like, it's not the same. Can never be the same.
I agree, but it seems like fans of fighters, they want to erase the rationale of coming off a loss or inactivity when it favors them, when it's the guy they like. But then when it's the guy they want to be critical of, that's when they point things out like that he was coming off inactivity. If you're a Lomachenko dick rider, you'll just go, he's 26-0. He knocked out Donaire. That's Rigondeaux's big win. And then if you're a Loma hater, you'll just go, Top Rank starved this guy, Walters, made him wait a year, and then he beat a guy who was rusty as hell and had one fight in almost a year and a half, 2 years.
So what's
That's
the truth?
What Top Rank wanted.
So what's the truth then?
The truth, as usual, is somewhere in the middle, my friend.
What is your truth?
I think he beat a top 5 junior lightweight that night. I think it was a really good win, but it's not the pound for pound kind of win Matt's talking about. And honestly, I'm not 100% sure Rigondeaux will be either, but because his detractors, like I was talking about earlier, dick riders and detractors, have built a 37-year-old Rigondeaux up to be Sugar Ray Robinson. They better be ready to give Lomachenko credit when he beats him in 2 weeks. Okay, it's the Ring Magazine who's got Rigondeaux number. It's funny, the Ring Magazine just kept putting Rigo up higher and higher in the pound-for-pound list, and I'm like, he's not even fighting. How's he keep getting up higher?
No, but I mean,
he's one of the best talents of the new millennium, but
we can't really use the Ring
like,
Magazine.
Okay, you guys want to make him this monster.
We can't use the Ring Magazine as a barometer for pound. I mean, they have Sergey Kovalev number 5, and they don't have Keith Thurman there at all. That's why. How do you have a guy that has accomplished? Let me show you something. Keith Thurman has at least unified, and Matt, guess what? He did move up, which is, guess what we're talking about? Pound for pound. He beat Carlos Quintana at 54. Sergey never moved up. He bought his biggest.
Come on, brother.
Whoa.
That doesn't count. I agree with you. Thurman's definitely ahead of Kovalev right now. I agree. Thurman needs to get his love. But, I mean, you know, guys coming up, they don't feel like dropping that extra 5 or 6 pounds. They fight a weight class above when they're coming up. When we're talking about pound for pound. No.
Hold on. I got to interject.
Not fighting a bum.
I got to interject there. I know you don't have earphones, so you don't hear when I'm cutting in, but you're trying to brush off Thurman's move up to 54 as a kid that was big and settling into 47. That's not what it was. He started at 47. He was on HBO at 47. People was ducking him since then. Maidana signed to fight him and then said, hell no, he ain't no tune-up. Find the quotes. It's out there. And then guess what Thurman did? Not to stay inactive, he moved up to 54 on HBO and knocked out Quintana. It's not that he was just, you know, fat and trying to lose weight to get to 47. In the meantime, the way Sean Porter did, not to say Sean Porter was fat, but Sean Porter started heavy and worked his way down to 47. That is not what Keith Thurman did. And back to the Kovalev thing, he hasn't moved up. And I thought pound for pound meant that. How would a fighter fare in different divisions? And when you actually move up and fare in a different division, I think that should count for something opposed to us imagining you moved up. Because last I checked, Kovalev got knocked out twice or lost back-to-back. So for him to be there is ridiculous.
Got knocked out twice now.
No. I said lost. I say he got knocked out or lost back-to-back. Whatever. You know,
he got knocked out twice.
I also said lost back-to-back. I mean, it's not like I didn't mention that too. But I'm just saying all of this started because the Ring's, you know, list is really unusable.
Okay, but so the Ring's gonna get it wrong sometimes. You just got it wrong. We all get it wrong. You know, you said knocked out twice when he lost twice. You know, I agree. Kovalev should not be in the damn top 5. Definitely not ahead of Keith Thurman. And real quick, I was at that Keith Thurman fight ringside in California when he knocked out Carlos Quintana. Very good performance. I'm just saying that knocking out Quintana at 54 when Quintana's really old, and I think retired very shortly after, isn't a huge accomplishment. That's all I'm saying. And
no, you're right.
Kovalev,
you're right. The huge accomplishment is losing to Orlando Salido.
Ness, you also arguing with the guy that ranked Earl Spence higher in the pound for pound over Keith Thurman.
I know. But he mentioned that his list was going to be a projection list. He did say that. It was based on eye tests.
Okay, hey, Loma loses points for that, and that's why he's got ground to make up. He's got to beat the Rigos, he's got to beat the Mikeys, he's got to beat the Tank Davises to make up ground for that. But he was attempting. You're also docking him a little bit for trying to do something no one else did. He was trying to become a world champion, and what was it? His second professional fight.
Well, came
on strong in the end, lost a close decision to Salido, and then right in his very next fight, he fights a fighter that's younger, faster, and probably better than Salido and Russell, and dominates them, and he hasn't looked back since. He's been knocking everybody out.
Sean, don't forget to put the asterisk out there, because no one's reading they're only hearing your words. They're not reading it. Normally when we read what you say, there's an asterisk next to Gary Russell's name. I don't know if you want to give the world what that asterisk stands for, but I can. I mean, just saying.
What would that asterisk be for beating Gary Russell? Is it what Gary claims is he wasn't himself that night?
Go on. I'm sure you know more. Go on, Sean. Go on. You can do good.
I don't know.
Oh, come on.
I talked to him about it, and all he told me was he just said he had nothing the night of the fight. I mean,
Wait a minute, Sean. Are
Just that
you
he
going to
was
say
dead.
that you actually spoke to Gary Russell and all he told you was he had nothing the night of the fight? Are you sure?
I'm positive. I mean, we got this up
Wow.
on TBV. We could look this up from right before, it was the day or two before he knocked out Johnny Gonzalez to win his WBC title.
Oh,
And he
you're
was saying
talking
the way I
post.
showed up that night.
You're talking post. You're talking
Yeah,
way
yeah, yeah,
post. You're talking way post. Okay, yeah, because the excuse and rumor that was, you know, obviously confirmed by a lot of people in that DMV area, so it doesn't really make it a fact. Was obviously that he was weight drained because he got in a sauna the entire week before, and there's interviews of him saying this.
Okay, Ness. See, you just gave an irrational excuse for a guy who was in his prime, who had over 20 professional fights, an Olympian. You just gave him an excuse for why he got completely wiped out, and yet you won't compromise on Lomachenko attempting to do something no other fighter in the history of boxing has ever done and trying to win a world title in his second fight and losing close. You get what I'm saying? You're not cutting Lomachenko any slack, but we're supposed to give Gary Russell slack for getting wiped out 12 zips.
Get him, Sean. Get him.
What wasn't his second professional fight.
Well,
So
Get him, Sean.
that's
Got
all.
him, Sean.
well, we're not cutting anyone slack or giving anyone credit. We're simply stating to an audience that can only hear what is being said the truth. And the truth of the matter is there is a large contingent of people that go on record to say he got in a sauna, he changed his strength and conditioning coach, he should have never done that, and we've never seen Gary Russell look that way again. Have we ever seen him in there with a Lomachenko again? No. So it's easy to say that as well, but I mean, it's only fair to give all the information.
I agree with you. But then, you know, you got people who get mad when you tell them Oscar De La Hoya wasn't really in his prime when he fought Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. You know, you get people who think when you say something like that, Ness, that's an excuse.
Yeah, but the word prime is a subjective
thing, it might actually be
the word prime is a subjective word, so I could see why you would get into those arguments when you're using that word, especially in those sentences. You know, everyone has a different version of when someone's in any prime. Let's be honest. Me and Matt were just discussing and debating this very topic. Him saying someone's in their prime at a certain age, and me right away bringing up the heavyweight division and how a trainer is telling me that the heavyweight division's prime doesn't really start till like 33 or some crazy shit. I don't remember the word. You would have to check the show. But the point is, prime is a very subjective, just like pound for pound.
I feel like if we don't have an agenda, if we treat each fighter fairly, we all have eyes, and we can tell that each fighter's prime can be different. You know, I only feel like when you have an agenda, you could be like, no, come on, you're just making it up. Oscar was in his prime against Pacquiao, or Pacquiao was in his 100% prime against Horn, or even Floyd against McGregor. No, that's the exact same Floyd that fought Genaro Hernandez. It's like, come on, man. We all watch boxing. We have fights. We know when the guy's legs are as quick as they used to be. His hands are as quick as they used to be. His reflexes. You know what I mean? I feel it is subjective, but we all have eyes to see what's going on. You can't tell me. It's like, is it really subjectiveness to say Ali was past his prime when he fought Larry Holmes and Trevor Berbick? No, it's not. His legs are gone. His speed ain't the same. He can't evade punches because the reflexes are shot. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not always just because I can't point to a number, I can't point to a stat, doesn't mean it's not real. That's
Good
all.
point, Sean. Good point.
It is a good point, but it also makes it difficult to say when someone's in their prime. If you can't point to a number, then you're just bubbling years and fights in, and it's unfair.
Right.
Why is that unfair, though?
Because
If
it
everyone-
could work in favor of your argument depending on the fighter, and against your argument, right? Because there's guys that we, for instance, write off and come back.
But that's the
big.
point about, that's the point about Sean's. Like, if we're looking at it fairly and objectively, we can still have a consensus about a subjective topic. That is possible to obtain. a consensus, and that's how we get reality or truth in the boxing world, is a consensus, right? I mean, me and you,
makes the sport so great,
but the majority can't.
Well, there's still a consensus of fans out there, and Gary Russell himself. You know, I'm shocked to see that he didn't call out Loma in this last interview where he called out all the other guys in the Al Heyman family, because he must have been tired. I just want to say that too, Sean, since you're all, I feel you as a Lomachenko defender, so I would like to hear your thoughts on that. Like, Gary had been asking for that rematch a long time. It's like the Kell Brook and Sean Porter. Like, these guys want a rematch, and those things never happen. Yet you could fight Mariaga ballooning up, you know, and like two other dudes that I don't even know their names on TV. Just saying, man. You know,
well,
and you were the one that came on here talking about Top Rank spoon fed him.
Right. Well, I actually didn't say that. I said he beat top guys like Walters and Gary Russell, but yeah. But no, I mean, you got me mixed up here for a second. Lomachenko.
Got that good Vegas weed.
Sorry now. Give me a second. Right. Yeah, it's that good Vegas weed. Wait, back. Okay, yeah, Lomachenko. I'm not the crazy Lomachenko defender, because I'm not the guy who has made Rigondeaux, I think Rigondeaux at 122 pounds, active, you know, at his best, is one of the most amazing talents since the year 2000 or the new decade. Okay, so it's not me who built up this guy who's fought 4 times in 4 years or so and has to move up 2 weight classes to fight Loma. I didn't. So I mean, if I really had a big Lomachenko boner, I would just keep building up how huge this win is about to be for Lomachenko. But really, for him to prove to me he's number 1 pound for pound, he would need to fight Mikey Garcia at 135 pounds, something like that. And you were saying about Gary Russell wanting the rematch. Look, man, it just comes down to, it's just tough for these guys with Al the last year plus, because they're fighting 1 or 2 times a year. It's hard to get any momentum, get your name out there, get the big fights. When you're fighting once or twice a year, I mean, this last
no excuse, Sean.
Couple nights ago, I was
Gary Russell
Smith on Bounce TV. On Bounce TV, though.
Yo, Ishe
Where
Smith.
is Bounce TV? What is Bounce TV?
Ishe Smith is like 44 years old, and he's on TV.
Right.
No, he's on
TV. Let's not forget that Robert Easter Jr. on Bounce TV was able to pull over 1 million viewers.
Yeah. Like, first of all, he should be grateful that he's still on TV. All right. And as far as Gary Russell, so he's got to build his profile for a rematch while Lomachenko's fighting guys that are not on his level, that don't have a WBC title. Because last I checked, Mariaga, they pulled him out of the closet and gave him food too to move up. And probably the guy before that, right? I mean,
I'm with you. I would rather see them fight each other.
It's
than Russell fight who he fought last, the Oscar Escandon, and for Loma to fight the Colombia Mariaga again. I mean, but the thing is, the reason why I'm not tripping on a Russell rematch is he hasn't done anything too crazy to vault himself past Tank Davis or even Miguel Burchelt or Rigondeaux or Mikey Garcia. Or Linares is saying,
yeah, but you're looking at it. You're looking at it
because he's not fighting a lot.
You're looking at it all wrong, Sean. Because we shouldn't be looking at the B side to be doing more than Lomachenko when he's already fighting guys that don't matter, bro. Like, we seen Roman Martinez go life and death with Salido, whose claim to fame is fucking beating Juan Manuel Lopez. Like, let's not play dumb. He beat Jason Sosa. He has 6 amateur fights before he turned pro. Like, he's not Andre Ward. He doesn't have that resume. And I get the skill in the eye test, but this is why pound for pound shows are retarded, because it's like, I need you to do something. Look, I love Jamal Charlo, but I was shocked that you got him on your pound for pound. He's just starting to gain momentum in terms of resume.
Who really? You mentioned Keith. Keith has one of the best resumes, right? He beat Sean and Danny. But who out there right now really does have an Andre Ward, Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, Miguel Cotto type of resume. This is a new era, Ness.
Yeah, those don't
Almost
exist
nobody
anymore.
really has that
No,
Hall of Fame
I'll
resume
tell
yet.
you. I'll tell you. Listen, our
Okay.
generation, right? Because we're post Mayweather and those guys. Cotto's on his way out with this fight. Pacquiao's really trying to leave with this McGregor call out. Listen, the new resume, it looks like Crawford's resume. It looks like Keith Thurman's resume. And it looks like Gennady Golovkin's resume. And guess what? Throw Canelo in there. When you go through those guys' resume, there's names that you recognize. Keith being the least on the ladder, unfortunately. Maybe it's a toss-up between him and Crawford, really, because Danny and Sean are way more recognizable than Gamboa, but Crawford had that standout fight with Gamboa a long time ago where Keith just stepped on a scene. You know, it's a little difficult, but those are the resumes. Consistent wins over B and C level fighters. That's just the way. Like, Loma's on his way. And I'm in the boat with you, you know. I love Guillermo, but he's got to move up. For Lomachenko, this is an easy fight. He's fighting a guy 2 divisions below. It's the same argument I've been saying. He just fought Mariaga from a division below. Like, it's turning into a Lomachenko show because, unfortunately, he's been, you know, he gets these
the people
fucking
demanded Lomachenko Rigondeaux.
Yeah, because we're tired of seeing Mariaga, Jason Sosa, Nicholas Walters off for 8 months off. You know what I'm saying? Every fight. Listen, look at
the
it.
people demanded Nicholas Walters. Walters Lomachenko was, I think, the #1 fight people wanted to see at 26.
Hey, Sean,
And
when you say
Walters
these things,
had to wind up doing it at 30.
Listen, when you say these things, don't forget that it's audio. No. I'm not saying that you're wrong. What I'm saying, don't forget that it's audio, and you got to give more information. When you say the people wanted Nicholas Walters versus Lomachenko, that those people
any other fight more than
no. He's right. He's right, Matt. He's right. But I'm gonna tell you how he's right and from what standpoint, right? He's right that the people wanted that fight. And he's also right that the people demanded that fight. But the people are a small contingency. The people are the hardcore 250, 170,000 fans that bought Gennady versus whoever the fuck he fought, you know, Lemieux. That's the people that were asking for this fight. And you know why the people asked for that fight? Because the people understand politics, and we understand that Lomachenko isn't going to get a Gary Russell rematch or anybody significant on the other side of town. So the people demanded what's best within Top Rank, and what was best was a dude that wasn't getting fights because Top Rank wanted to slave him in the contract. Let me take that back. Keep him in his contract and extend it, right? And he had 8 months off and no activity, okay? And then what came next was a Peltz Boxing half Top Rank fighter.
8 months is far from. I mean, guys have had a gajillion time longer layoff than that. Floyd just had a longer layoff than that. He's done that a couple times. Leonard came back after 3 years and whipped Hagler. You know, so
Sean, all you're doing is making my
case. Jacobs just came off.
Sean, all you're doing is making my case, brother. All you're doing is making my case. You mentioned legendary names. You mentioned names that my son's sons are gonna still know. Ray Leonard, Ali, fucking Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather, they're forever engraved in boxing. How about you tell me anybody listening to this fucking show today is gonna know Nicholas Walters in 12 fucking months, buddy? Stop it. Stop it. Of course, Ray Leonard. Let me finish, Sean, because the public. Let me finish because the public is gonna say that I'm cutting you off, but I just want to get this really cool line off, which is, of course, Ray Leonard could come off for 8 months. Of course, Floyd Mayweather could come off for 8 months. Them dudes are not Nicholas Walters. They ain't living in Jamaica, probably smoking some ganja and sparring goats.
Good shit. But part of why he's not those guys is because guys like Lomachenko banish fighters like Walters who are good but not great. And that's what he did that night. He showed the difference in levels against Nicholas Walters. And I just don't understand all of a sudden building up. See, this is what I mean with the same thing with Rigondeaux. Now you're building up Gary Russell as the boogeyman. He already beat him.
Boogeyman?
Like, instead of us.
I never said.
Hold up.
I never said boogeyman.
Building up the real fights for Loma. The real fights for Loma should be Tank Davis and Mikey Garcia. And I understand
Tank Davis
in the way. Tank Davis still.
Bro, he's not
That's
even
a
ready.
natural 130
He's not even ready, and he's missing
He's
weight.
not right now.
He's not even ready, and he's missing weight. Is he even in that weight?
Yeah, I know. He is fucking up right now. But the guy that knocked out Pedraza, if that guy could just show up and get his damn mind right, he's easily the biggest threat to Lomachenko at 130. But it's the same thing that's going on with Rigondeaux. He's hell of a fighter. Great fighter. Gary Russell, not a great fighter, but hell of a fighter. And now you're trying to build him up like, oh, Lomachenko, if he would only rematch Gary Russell. Same thing. If he would only fight Guillermo Rigondeaux,
that's not what I'm saying, Sean. All I'm saying is don't make an excuse why he can't rematch him when he's out there fighting the people we just named.
I would rather see Russell and Loma do it again and then Lomachenko fight bums, but I'm just explaining the reality is Russell hasn't done nothing crazy. There isn't crazy demand to see that. There's more demand than there is for Marriaga, but it isn't Lomachenko's fight that rematch doesn't come off, and it really shouldn't be the first point of contention.
But it is.
When he already won the fight decisively.
My friend, it is Lomachenko's fault because Rigondeaux Lomachenko is happening because Rigondeaux forced Lomachenko to tell his promoter to make this fight. You know it, and I know it. Rigondeaux's onslaught, his stalking on social media, his fucking belittling of Lomachenko forced him to have to take this fight. So that's the same way that it works. Loma could easily pick up the phone and say, Bob, I want to fight Gary Russell again. Make him an offer.
Or Carl Frampton. Or Leo Santa Cruz.
Exactly.
Frank really didn't want to. I'm being honest, Ness. I don't know who didn't want to fight Rigondeaux. If it's Lomachenko, well, I think Loma's fine fighting him. I don't think he really cares who he fights like most fighters. But, Top Rank, they just hated Rigondeaux. I mean, they had super sour grapes for him.
All right, so do they hate Carl Frampton?
They just HBO too.
Do they hate Carl Frampton? Do they hate Leo Santa Cruz? How about Abner Mares? I mean, isn't he a 130-pound fighter?
About fighting Lomachenko, and he doubted his own chance.
I mean, isn't he not fighting at 130?
I want to see all these fights, Ness. I'm just saying, so you think it's Lomachenko saying, nah, I'm good. I don't want to. But you think Bob Arum and Todd DeBuff are going to Loma?
Let me tell you something.
We got Carl Frampton. We got
let me tell you. Let me tell you.
I want Marriaga.
Let me tell you how a fighter who's in control of his career, how his resume looks. Okay, it looks like Anthony Joshua. It looks like Keith Thurman. All right, and there's one other guy. Canelo Alvarez.
How is Thurman in control of his career? He's beat great fighters that weren't hard fights to make. You know
why he's in the
they all have the same manager.
Okay, so Sean,
hold on, Ness, let me chime in here. Sure. The reason why Thurman is
which sucks.
Sean, hold on 1 second. The reason why Thurman's in control of his career is because he calls Al and tells him, I want to fight this guy. Al doesn't go to him with a three fighters and say, hey, pick one, or let me pick one. That doesn't happen. Thurman tells us in person, he calls Al and tells him who he wants to fight.
But look, that's us believing Thurman.
You don't think he wanted to fight Manny Pacquiao?
Hold on, Sean.
You don't think he wanted to fight Manny Pacquiao?
Sean, hold on. That's just us believing Thurman, right? So that's unfair. That's not facts, right? What is facts is that Thurman is probably the only guy that I could think of, but my challenge is to you now. Name another guy that has 2 top 5 wins back-to-back in their division. What resume out there looks like that? Top 5. It doesn't exist because the blueprint for boxing is tough fight, soft fight. Tough fight, soft fight. Tough fight, maybe soft fight if you could get it off. It's never been tough fight. Just show me one guy so I can fucking start praising him too. Maybe Gennady, but does it really? I mean, excuse me, not Gennady. Kell Brook, but does it really count when you're taking losses? Like when you're just selling yourself, when you're selling your popularity.
You can argue Gennady Golovkin. You could argue that.
But name another guy.
Gennady, but
name another guy, because we could start with Lomachenko, right? Lomachenko took tough fight in Salido, right? And then he lost. So he would have got credit.
Russell.
Exactly. But
right.
was Salido top 5 at the time? I don't know.
He was top 5 in his weight class.
But check out what your boy did after that, right? This has turned into a Lomachenko show. We're gonna fucking change the title. It is what it is. All right. Your boy, after a tough fight with Russell, he fought. I'm not even gonna disrespect the name. I'm gonna ask the fucking the Jeffrey to tell us how you even pronounce this shit.
Why is Lomachenko got to be my boy? I'm just saying,
because you're defending him.
The same reason he can't fight some of these dudes is the same reason why Thurman couldn't get Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? It's just politics. We know this. It's
no. That's not true. You know, wait a minute. That's not true. Bob Arum has made offers for Pacquiao to Broner. Heyman and Bob talk. We got audio of Bob saying that. Bob is on record this year saying that Crawford will fight Thurman and Garcia. And Bob is already on record in terms of, you know, articles and fights that are out there. He's done business. Crawford has already fought 2 Al Heyman fighters, if not more. So that's not true. If Thurman didn't get the Pacquiao fight, don't you think it's because Bob didn't want to give him the Pacquiao fight? Not because Thurman can't get it.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that's the same thing that was probably holding up the Rigondeaux fight for this long. Was Bob didn't want to give Rigondeaux the fight.
Absolutely.
Promoters don't want to give certain fighters certain fights.
No. Again, you see, you got to give more information than that. Bob don't want to give up that Rigondeaux fight because it's a real motherfucking fight. And Bob don't want to give up that Pacquiao-Thurman fight because that's a real fight. Both fights where his guys can lose. And a promoter wants to maximize money, economics, and minimize risk. That's why after Gary Russell, he fought somebody we don't know. Then he fought another guy we don't know. Then he fought another guy we don't know. Then he fought a guy we do know who anybody can beat. Then he fought a guy we do know that was on the layoff. Come on, I mean, come on, man. Come on. He's in his first real fight, and it's with a guy 2 divisions below.
You can't
not first. Third fight. He's in his 3rd real fight.
Fourth.
Salido,
Russell, Walters.
And so that's 4. And so if by your standards, how many real fights has he been in? You got Danny and Sean then, if you're just going to play those standards.
Hell no. Wait a minute.
No, let me guess. You're gonna name guys like Luis Salazar.
No. You're gonna hear who I'm gonna name. Don't steal my names. You're gonna hear who I'm gonna name, because guess who I'm giving you credit for? I'm giving Lomachenko credit for Orlando Salido that has 12 losses.
Oh, Sean,
40. He has 41 fights, bro. Like, this dude is old and tired. It didn't matter what year Lomachenko fought him. If you want to talk about primes, well, Salido has never been in his prime, right? Or he's been past his prime, right? Come on. He's got like wear and tear. His resume is up there with Pacquiao and Marquez in terms of the amount of fights. Like, what are you guys talking about? And if I'm letting him slide, you're telling me we can't give Thurman credit for, and this is my first pick. I haven't even opened up Boxer, but I don't know, Diego motherfucking Chavez? No, that's not the same level?
As a Salido?
Yes.
Accomplished. It's not as accomplished as Salido. You have to say that.
Okay. Listen to me. Okay, so what are we giving Orlando Salido credit for now? As a former champion?
Yes.
All right. Carlos Quintana was a former champion. He's one of the guys to knock out Paul Williams before he got paralyzed. The only guy, right? Outside of Sergio Martinez.
What version?
Reigning champion coming off the knockout to Lopez. Wasn't a former champion.
Which Lopez? Because I don't know. My mind automatically thinks fucking Juan Manuel Lopez.
Yeah, Juan Lopez.
Come on, bro. Come on. Yeah, you laughing over
Hey,
there.
someone had to knock him out first, and Salido did.
No, you know what?
Someone actually knocked him out.
And let's do a little bit of revisionist history for our casual fans that may not know. Let me put the camera in me so you can see how this looks when you check a guy on revisionist history here. Juan Manuel Lopez has lost I don't know how many fights, right? And I'm not talking about the ones that he actually has on his resume. I'm talking about fights that he never got credit for losing, like I don't know, Motagua maybe. And this is without BoxRec, Mac. And before Motagua, he went life and death with someone else. He was running away from Gamboa. Not him per se, because like Sean says, fighters, they don't duck. It's the promoter, and the promoter in Bob Arum, who at the time had them both, and it could have been easily done in-house, aka Danny and Thurman, aka Thurman and Sean, which our Sean seems to not be giving us credit for, right? But let's check it out. He instead didn't want to give that fight to Gamboa. Why? Because the commodity, the one that was signed by Dodge, yes, Dodge the car, and he got gifted a challenger, and the one that HBO was in love with was Juan Ma Lopez. Why? Because he had a country. And we need this in boxing. We need people that attract fans and sell tickets, and it looks good on TV. Why? Because TV is a product. They need to have us in front of there. And if it's premium, they need good content because we're paying for it. And if it's on free TV, they need good content so the advertisers can pay for it. And Loma, and I mean that back then his name was Loma. That's even crazy too. No, it was Juanma. Juanma. So Juanma back then was that. He fit the bill, but his chin told a different story. And Gamboa's skills at the time was a different story. Oh, and let's not forget Gamboa beat Orlando Salido before your boy. Okay? And then your boy went life and death twice. And they tried to take the fights anyway, Matt. Salido had to go from Mexico to Puerto Rico twice, even as the champion when he beat Lopez. So come on, stop it. That's his claim to fame. He ain't got another good win. Not one more. Except for Lomachenko.
Ness.
Yeah.
I just think I feel like you're on one, brother. I just feel like you're on one.
I am.
You calling me the Loma, this and that.
Yeah, I'm the Thurman protector.
You just fresh out from Florida.
I'm the Thurman protector for sure.
I know you love Thurman. I know, love Thurman, but don't. I think he's top 10 pound for pound. He's the welterweight champ. You know, just it's all good, man.
Nah, but you see,
Thurman,
that's why from the beginning.
But
that's why from the beginning, when you mentioned your top 5, I said you disrespectful. I said that because you put Earl in your list, you put Jamal in your list, but you leave out the most accomplished. I mean, your whole list is filled with guys that have question marks.
Before saying I'm not putting too much. I think Earl would beat Keith, though. That's why I'm putting Earl ahead of Keith.
And you think Loma would beat Rigo?
And Jamal
will beat Rigo.
Yeah.
You
don't
think so?
We'll see. Oh, I'm picking them live on my show. I don't know who you picking.
So you know how you was just playing down Salido? Like you're real good, man. This is why you host the show. This is why you're man. Because you see, you're like, he lost to this guy. He went life and death with this guy. I mean, we could be like Sean Porter, who had a draw with Joel Diaz. Who's Julio Diaz? Who's Julio Diaz? What's he done?
I don't know. I'll tell you. This is Sean. This is why I want you. This is why I want you on the show, because when I jump in, because you're on a cell phone, you don't really hear it. But I'm gonna tell you who Joel Diaz is, right? Because my gun is always cocked. All right. Joel Diaz is the dude that dropped Amir Khan. So if Orlando Salido could get claim to fame for just beating up Juanma, you know Joel Diaz made a name for himself by dropping Amir Khan in his prime. Your guys' word, he dropped Khan in his prime.
What about Danny Garcia? What about Danny Garcia going life and death with a fat old Eric Morales and Ashley Theophane?
I mean, last time I checked, he won both of those fights.
Let's just shit on fighters. Come on, let's tear them all down.
Last time I checked, Danny won both those fights.
Wasn't nothing when Ali beat him. George Foreman threw sloppy punches. Joe Frazier would be a cruiserweight now. Come on, let's tear them all down. Let's go.
Well, I mean, Roy should have never went up to heavyweight.
Come on. Right. Hey, Roy didn't beat nobody. I mean, he beat Tony, but Tony was weight drained. Bernard wasn't good yet. Virgil Hill sucked. He got knocked out by Tarver. You know what I'm saying? So easy.
Yo,
Roy was nothing, right?
And that dude Ruiz wasn't really a heavyweight, right?
Right. So I guess Roy just wasn't that good.
Ah, man.
Yo,
you made a good case for that.
Come on, man. No. Roy Jones was that's my point, man. See how easy that was? Roy Jones was the greatest fighters of all time. And in 20 seconds, I was able to just shit on him like he wasn't. This shit is crazy. That's why I love boxing, man. You could build them up or you could break them down. It's up to you. Most of it's up to you.
Well, you're going to have to do a lot of building up. You're going to have to do a lot of building up once Rigo tap dance on your man.
Oh, if Rigo beats Loma, man, he's a beast, bro. He's
Let me tell you. I want Loma.
Fighter,
let me tell you. I want Loma to beat Rigo similar, not exactly, but at least it has to be similar to the Mariaga win because Rigo's moving up. You know what I mean? Rigo's moving up. Keep doing what you normally do with these little guys. Don't get up there and now things look different because you got a master at work. You know, because
so he can't struggle with a master.
Yo,
he can't have some problems.
There's only one Neo. There's only one Neo.
You know,
there's only one Neo.
Oh, that Matrix line, huh?
That's it.
Yo, come on now.
That Matrix line just made people hate Lomachenko forever. It's like, bro, it's just the movie. It's just the Matrix. I bet you know what Floyd thinks when he's cashing his $200 million check? He's going, I don't really give a fuck that they don't call me the Matrix. He could keep his $400,000 and his fucking Matrix name. I don't know. That's just me.
I hear
Same
you.
thing with SOG when he cashed his $7 million. I don't think they're really tripping about being called the Matrix.
Well, they do trip about being on that pound for pound list. We know that. So they wouldn't like your list for sure.
Okay, yeah. But I got Terence Crawford number 1.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that's a bit unfair too. I said that.
But I agree with Sean.
Yeah, but I mean, again, and my question to both of you guys is, do you really think Crawford's going to dominate at 47 the way he did at 40?
Even if he doesn't dominate, all he needs to do is win.
Oh no, it's just about if he can win. Thank you, Matt.
If you just
wait a minute, so if you just beat Gary Cochran at 47, you're pound for pound. What the fuck?
Come on, man. We know what we're talking about when we say does he dominate 147 like 140?
Thurman.
Oh, so he's got to be. Oh yeah, no, yeah. You beat Spence or Thurman, then yeah, fuck yeah. There's no argument.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, but we know he's not getting it.
Doesn't matter if you
he's not getting that right now.
No, that's
still that right now. He stopped calling out Thurman. I wonder why. That WBO battle, that WBO. No, because Bob told him, listen, kid, this is how we do things. You want Thurman? Fine. But follow me. Come on, dog. But he can easily say no, Bob.
That's good.
But that doesn't mean he's not pound for pound number 1. That doesn't mean he won't beat Thurman. None of that means that, Ness. Like, you have to realize that. Like when they're put in the ring, it doesn't matter that Bob Arum wanted him to fight Jeff Horn before Thurman. It doesn't matter. It matters who has the better technique, who's faster, who's smarter in there. You know, like all that matters.
You got to put it together versus someone on your level. That's when it's got to show. You can show that you're better, Matt, versus Gary Cochran and Jeff Horn.
Yeah.
We want to see that you're better versus Porter and Keith Thurman and Earl Spence.
And,
you know me. I know Crawford, he might not make it this deep in the show, but look, I was accepting Jesse Vargas. I'll still accept Jesse Vargas. But Cochran? Horn? Nah.
I don't know why you sent so much disrespect to Jeff Horn. I think you're in the minority there.
Yeah, let him take the belt off Horn.
Nah, look, you see, that's why, Matt. That's why, because everyone that speaks of Horn speaks in that manner. You crazy?
But let's be honest. If Danny Garcia had that belt, I think a lot of people would say, "Oh, let Crawford go take that belt from Danny."
Yeah, you know what, Matt? You're right. But then when it's fight night and the betting line, it'll be just as close as it was Danny versus Thurman. Don't forget it. And that fight was close.
I don't think so.
Oh yeah. So you telling me there wasn't a contingency to believe Danny won? Because we see it in the comments.
Argument. You're talking about betting lines. You just changed the goal.
No. All of that matters.
To do with the post-fight reaction of the fans. Has nothing to do with that. I don't know
Post
why you're conflating the two.
No, we were not talking a post. We were talking.
People thought Danny won. What does that have to do with the betting odds of Danny versus Crawford? It has nothing to do with that.
Pre Thurman and Danny, right? People automatically thought Thurman was going to kick his ass the same way that you just said. But then as the fight got made, it got tighter.
Yes.
The betting line switched. It wasn't so much of a Danny is going to get his ass kicked. And then when the fight happened, there was people that thought Danny won. I don't know, what am I not explaining here?
But those people are always going to count out Thurman most likely. And they're probably always going to big up Danny.
Yeah, now we're just going to assume.
Yes, because the only person I know that had Danny winning that fight was a Danny fan in Pittsburgh Bruce. Shout out to him.
Yeah, but that's you and you're one person, Matt.
Yeah, because I haven't heard anyone else say that Danny won that fight.
Are you serious? There's tons of videos and comments, and I mean, anyway, we're getting lost. Sean, thank you for joining us and adding some spice to the show, bro. We're gonna get to some of these callers, get their pound for pounds. Go ahead.
What about Kovalev tomorrow night? I think I got Kovalev winning that fight by stoppage. It's going to be a fun fight to watch. Shabransky's
you also pick Kovalev to beat Ward.
Fighter. Yeah, no, I did pick him to win the second fight, and I picked Ward to win the first fight. So I went one.
Just reminding you because you're picking Loma.
But
you're on a hot streak, buddy.
Yes. Shit, I mean, you could only bring up one fight I was wrong about.
I mean, you should start calling in more often. I don't know. We can't keep track of what we don't know.
Okay, I'm gonna
send
you a video where I had all my picks
check it out, Matt.
Where I picked
check it out, Matt.
Danny. I picked Earl over. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say the times that you have called in compared to the times you've got right is your resume ain't that good.
How? Which one? I picked. What you talking about? Canelo Triple G? Nobody got it right. It was a draw.
Yeah, that still doesn't count as a win
Joshua
for you.
Over Klitschko. I picked Joshua over Klitschko, Spence over Brooks.
Yo, Matt,
Thurman
if you
over
bet
Danny,
on that one, you don't make no money.
Jacobs, Canelo over Chavez.
Yo, everyone had Canelo over Chavez. Come on.
I got videos to prove it too.
Canelo over Chavez.
I know.
Jesus Christ. That's like Rigo over Tion Kennedy.
I had Danny Garcia over Samuel Vargas.
Kell Brooks, Joshua over Klitschko. I mean, I had Jamal over Julian Williams. So.
Yeah, we all had that.
I mean, but yeah, I did.
You get all the easy
I got
ones.
One L and one draw and a bunch of dubs.
Yeah, Sean Porter resume.
Tyson Fury over Vladimir Klitschko. That wasn't an easy one.
Ooh. But did you have Danny over Khan?
Yeah. No, but I had Danny over Matisse.
I had that too, so
and
you would have lost.
I saw the knockout coming.
Listen.
So, but I saw the knockout coming. I swear to God, I was yelling Khan's about to get hit with the left hook because he was throwing the sixth and seventh punches instead of throwing 2 and 3 and getting out of there. I knew he was about to get hit with that left hook because he was staying in the exchanges too long. But
all right, Sean. I want to thank you as always. Anyway, I do want to say Sean is our Las Vegas correspondent. You're getting a lot of comments, Sean, that they feel that I'm being a dick. They're like Ness is just acting like a kid because Sean is having more points than him. So I have to make it clear that he is our Las Vegas correspondent. He's not just a regular caller, even though he sounds like that because he rarely calls in. So that's why I'm being a little looser because we know each other. So there's a relationship here, guys.
Yeah, how like Ness is always a dick to me, you know, like
it's kind of like how I'm always, being extra nice to Mads. Like this is all love here, B.
Extra nice is exactly what you are to me.
You should follow him. Oh damn, he hung up. I was gonna say give his Instagram or something like that.
Sean TBV.
Sean TBV. So really quick, I want to read off a pound for pound list.
Can I read mine very fast?
Didn't you give yours? Now you want to give it again?
I've never given mine.
Oh no.
No, it's only 5. So it's only 5 names. Crawford, number 1.
Crawford.
Guillermo Rigondeaux, number 2.
Rigo.
Vasyl Lomachenko, number 3.
Vasyl.
Canelo Alvarez, number 4. And Triple G number 5.
Whoa.
Yes,
Whoa.
it's funny because I had Triple G beating Canelo, but I haven't switched in the pound for pound. I know it's crazy. Ness, you're just staring off, looking for that pound for pound list.
I am, and it comes from Bruce. Bruce is actually the guy that
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, not the guy that Pittsburgh. No, the guy that actually purchased this on-demand show that turned into a Lomo Rigo resume. But he submitted his pound for pound list, and he's got number 5, Mikey. Number 4, and that's Mikey Garcia for your casual listeners. Mikey Garcia, you know, brother of Robert Garcia, also trained by Robert Garcia. Last beat Adrian Broner, allegedly in camp now to fight someone that we don't know, but they say it's Robert Easter. Number 4 is Earl Spence, the 2012 Olympian, now current IBF champion at welterweight, and really this year's Gennady Golovkin, right? He's the Gennady Golovkin of the welterweight division. Everyone has him pegged as the boogeyman, the guy to be the man, because once upon a time, you know, even when Keith and Kell Brook and Earl existed, people still felt Earl was better and would be the best, and then he went over there and did what he did to the bigger welterweight in Kell Brook. Number 3, he has Guillermo Rigondeaux and Vasyl Lomachenko winner. And number 2, he has Gennady Golovkin and Canelo winner. And number 1, he has Crawford.
Those are cop-outs, by the way.
No, funny, exactly. Funny that he has Crawford number 1, and he doesn't have to even fight to get there. But Gennady and Canelo got to fight for their position, and Rigo and Loma do. I just want Crawford to know, I hope you listened this far, you know, because I'm sure you're not going to like anything I said, but it's like 3 TBV guys already have you at number 1, and you haven't even done anything yet. Like at that weight division. I'm being careful with my words.
Yeah,
he might jab me. Next time I see him at Omaha, he might jab me in the airport.
Oh, another guy that may have had 2 top 5 pound for pound names. I don't know if they're back to back. It isn't actually.
Oh, so who texted you this?
That's me. It's Crawford. Crawford has 2 top 5 names on his resume. And
don't try to give him credit for Felix Diaz, bro. Who?
No. Victor Postal and Julius Ndongo. Those were 2 top 5 junior welterweights at the time.
Yep.
And you can argue Gamboa at 135 was top 5. A lot of guys moved up at that time.
Really quick, this show was brought to you by Bruce, so we're not going to play any sponsors, but we will.
Black
We're going to go out to Atlanta. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, you're getting a couple seconds. We just want your, pound for pound list,
Give us the top 5.
Unless your conversation is dope. Top 5 pound for pound, that's what we're talking. Let us know who you got there.
I told y'all a long time ago that Kirkland will go down 3 rounds.
Right hand. Down goes Kirkland. Strap me up.
Next, I got milk, baby. Man. Yeah.
What's up, brother?
Yeah. You know what it is. Listen, man. Look, first we got to backtrack a second. And Ness, you know I love you, man. But you got to put some respect on Paul Williams' name, man. The only man that ever knocked him out cold was Sergio Martinez. Carlos Santana did not knock Paul Williams out. So let that be known.
He dropped him.
Man, get out of here, man. Hey, the next fight, Paul knocked that motherfucker out in the first round through the ropes. But that's neither here nor there. But top 5, man. It's subjective, like y'all said. I just throw some names out that's got to be in the mix. You got to put Canelo's name in the hat. You got to put Triple G in the name in the hat. You got to put Rigo's name in the hat. You got to put Mikey Garcia's name in the hat. Lomachenko, no. I would probably say a 5th person. Give me Keith, man. what it boils down to, fellas, is you know, you got to look at what the person has done, but you also got to really think about pound for pound. When you scale, if you can scale a fighter up or down in weight, who is more likely to win? Skill set for skill set. You know, if I could take Rigo, put him in a welterweight frame, middleweight frame, I think he got a damn good chance to damn near beat anybody with those skill sets. So that's my call.
All right. Well, Atlanta, Milkman, thanks for calling in. I just want to say, since this is your show, Bruce, I'll just talk to you via the show. You're never winning that parlay. That's a joke. Bet 20, win 805, Matt, but you got to bet it on Eurocas Gamboa to win versus Sosa and Sullivan to lose versus Valeria.
Oh, man, come on. Brew. Thank God you're only betting $20. Thank God.
Yo, Brew, I don't know if this is disrespectful, but you might be a gambler.
And also, he 100% has a gambling addiction. We should probably have an AA meeting or an intervention about that. But anyways, digress.
Yeah, I mean, you're betting on this parlay. Like, this has no chance at winning. You know what? You got better. You got better. Huh?
Only $20 though. I mean, that'd be hit.
Listen, he has a better chance buying me a dub sack and getting some return on that than spending this 20 on that. Like, I just
Very quickly before we go to the next caller, we're having some people in the chat say we're only, it's an American show. We're biased.
How are we biased?
I know. For the record, the people that have given their pound for pound list have given out Ukrainians, Mexicans, Cubans. I mean, do you really want to go down the list? I mean, my pound for pound list has 2 Ukrainians, 1 Mexican, and a Cuban. Only 1 American fighter is on my list, so I don't know what people are talking about. Just interesting.
Yeah, but what fighter is missing? Even Gennady was mentioned. Like, who is missing?
I don't know.
How are we? I mean,
I know some people are saying Kit Kat. Kit Kat should be mentioned.
Yeah, right. That's the people that had Roman in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but that's like putting Bivol in there.
I mean, it's different than putting Bivol in.
No, it's not. It's everybody's new hot guy, and that's how it usually works. Let's see how he pans out.
I think that's a bad comparison, but I understand what you're trying to say.
Well, if you got it, then you got it. They said I'm acting like a kid today, Matt. What do you think?
I think that you hate pound for pound.
I know.
And like maybe you need to smoke some more.
I've been smoking nonstop this show. Shout out to Brew on the check-in. This is his show. It wouldn't be the craziest shit ever. Gamboa's a beast, amateur. Sosa had only 6 fights. Maybe Barrera slept on Valeria. Man, stop it. We was in camp with Barrera. He ain't sleep. I could only wish to the gods I could have a body and skills like him. And you seen what he did with Ward, which wasn't much, but he bounced back and he beat the guy that's in the main event. And please, you're banking this on Bivol going 12 with Valeria. Yes, Valeria's Dominican. He's a former WBA champ, but like Bivol is everyone's new hot guy. Like, he might have just shit the bed that day, or he might not be as good as people think. Who knows? Let it pan out. He got that free belt. You know what I'm saying? 8 hashtag free belts out here. 303, you're up with me.
First time caller.
Are you? 303. 303 900. 303 900. First time caller. All right, buddy. No problem. You just listen. It's all good with us.
Oh, I totally forgot about a ringer. I'm sorry, Georgie.
Yo, first of all, let me say, I don't pay Showtime to see you all there, not even putting a goddamn motherfucking effort. If I want to see two motherfuckers just fight, I pick up a fight with somebody in the street. Don't need that shit. You don't love that form I do? Just move along. Gone. Fuck you. Next. What? Great show. Come stop, donate. Yo! Cracky lacking here today. How the panel doing?
We're good, brother. How was your Thanksgiving?
Beautiful thing, man. Beautiful thing.
Yo, you had patelón? You had patelón?
Coming.
You have patelón at your?
No, that's Christmas.
Okay.
That's Christmas. For Dominican, my Dominican side eat pastelón all the time because we do that shit all the time. On Puerto Rican side, only do it on the Christmas time.
So you had some. You had
anyway,
some.
let me ask you.
But you had pernil then. If you.
Let me ask you real. Yeah.
Okay.
All that, baby. You know how that goes. But let me ask you a question before my time run out. So you say that because of the people that Lomachenko fought, he's not in control of his career. Did I get that right?
I don't know what you mean by that. I mean, you're taking probably something I said
5 minutes ago talking with Shandu.
Shandu ain't even call in.
Yeah,
Shandu didn't even call in.
The correspondent for Las Vegas.
Oh, Sean Zittel.
Sean. Oh, Chattel, Mr. Chattel. My apologies. Anyway, so you told him that. You say, well, he's not in control of his career because he fought such and such. Like those were setups. So if that's the logic, who's controlling the answer was the career? That's what I'm saying.
I mean, Georgie, let me answer because you're gonna lose this argument, right? And you shouldn't have brought it up because now you look very poor in boxing skills, right? Because it's documented, right? It's out there that Deontay Wilder paid $600,000 to make Bermain step aside. Why? Because he wanted to fight Luis Ortiz because he is in control of his career. So I'm not even going to argue with that one. I'll just let you marinate in that loss, but you could try again. Give me another one because I'm good at this. Go.
Okay, so he paid $600,000 to 40 bumps in the road then, huh? Okay. Anyways, moving along. About Lomachenko. Lomachenko fought for the world title in his first fight, didn't he?
No, you're wrong again.
Second?
Yes.
Second fight?
Second fight.
Then he lost and he fought again for another world title, right?
I believe
his first 4 fights.
I believe he fought for the WBC, possibly. Was Gary Russell for the yeah? Oh, vacant WBO.
Yep. Okay. Lomachenko is the most pampered boxer out there. Pampered. Fucking Golden Brick Road all the way over there. And they got this man on the fucking pound for pound list. That's outrageous. We don't have to say too much about it. Team Rigo, and let's see what happens.
All right. We're going back out to Atlanta. GT Kid, talk to me.
Hey, yeah. Real quick. Top 5 pound for pound. I got I got Bud at number 1 based on resume and 2 division champion, 135, 140. I got Keith Thurman number 2 based on strength of resume. He's in the best division probably in boxing right now, and he's pretty much shown he's willing to fight anybody, and he's definitely got skills for sure. Number 3. 3 and 4, I've got Rigo, Lomo. They're interchangeable though. That's based more on eye test and dominance over the opposition they face, but they haven't really. Lomo's proven more than Rigo because Rigo's just been so inactive. And number 5, I've got Canelo. He showed true skill against GGG. I was impressed actually, and I'm a Canelo hater, but I got to give him props. His skills were on point. Counter punching was amazing. He's on the back foot. He's looking good in there, and he's multi-division champion also. So I got to give him props on that. That's pretty much it. Don't get your blood pressure too high. That pound for pound is all subjective, man. So you'll get crazy rankings, and it is what it is, man. It never makes sense.
For sure, bro. You got to know I don't mind getting hot. My hashtag is Let's Smell. We're going to Joshua from New Orleans. Talk to me.
Yeah, when y'all say post-Mayweather, can I include Ward in there?
Nah, no retired fighters, brother. Only active. Sorry.
All right, well, for my number one will be Terence Crawford. Doing to what he just accomplished in his weight division and being unified, that puts him at number one. And I believe he could dominate his style through all weight classes if he fought him. My second will be Rigondeaux. Unfortunately, just like he hasn't had the break of his career, like some people get the carpet laid out for him, like Lomachenko, and be able to jump through hula hoops and roses and all that stuff like that. But pound for pound, his skills are top, and he actually could be number one if he was able to do more. Number three, I'm gonna go with Keith Thurman. I'll put Keith Thurman right there. Even though I think Earl Spence probably is the most dominant welterweight right now, I still give Keith Thurman because he has a better resume and he has accomplished more than Earl Spence right now. Number four, I'm gonna put Golovkin at number four. I'm not big on how Golovkin got what he got, but he's still undefeated and he's been able to dominate his style, and he was the most dominant middleweight for the last past years. And my number five would be Deontay Wilder. Even though Deontay Wilder hasn't got the big wins like everybody pointed out in his career, but he has proven that their right hand stops men that's 30 and 40 pounds heavier than him, and at any weight, and if he can land that shot, his lights out. That's my top pound list.
All right, Joshua, thanks for calling in, bro. Thanks for making my night and all the Wilder haters even more mad, right? Because that's a good logic. I'm just saying, I'm not giving up a list. I don't believe in pound for pound. It's unfair. But that's a good reason why not to believe in pound for pound, because a guy like A, Anthony Joshua, or B, Deontay Wilder, well then, they would be able to beat everyone in every division if they were the same fighter that they are now in those divisions.
That's not true at all.
Why not?
Because let's say you can shrink Deontay Wilder to a flyweight. Does he have the technique? Same with Anthony Joshua. You can have the same.
But listen, if we're gonna shrink him
in terms of height.
Check it out. If we're gonna shrink him in terms of height, he still has to be freakishly big, because he in the heavyweight division he's freakishly big. You understand what I'm saying? Even if you shrink Joshua, he still has to have his muscularity and his knockout power. If you shrink,
sorry, not to interject, but very quickly, how you would be able to quantify that, give numbers to that. You would have to get the average for the division, let's say average height, and then look at Wilder, see how much he is taller than that average height.
Exactly.
Same ratio in each weight class. That's what you would somewhat have to do.
He would still, listen, because of that very same reason, he would still be freakishly bigger than every other flyweight, every other welterweight, etc., etc. He's the biggest in his division, and Joshua is the biggest in terms of muscle.
Hey, Tyson Fury is the biggest in the division. Come on.
How tall is Tyson? 6'9"? 9. Oh, well, he is the biggest.
And also, in weight too. I mean,
well, true, but he's inactive. This is, we're speaking active.
Good point. Active, yeah.
Oh, every time he goes in. Yo, I'm even happier that this was done by you. Shout out to DJ Roos, yo. You did a good job on this, because it makes me happy now. Like, I'm always like, yo, like I was always happy that Amin was like an everyday guy, but now having the intro is dope, because I don't know, I guess I'm old, or this is just a really dope beat.
Just like the king is what I mean. The king is what I mean. My man, get a cup and put some change inside your hand. Now hold up, let's make this official. Everybody that's agreeing.
First one here, last to leave. Was good, fellas.
What up? I always feel like I'm in the club when your beat plays, man. I got a bop, man. I'm ready to get the cognac.
Yeah, we from that era. Definitely shout out to DJ Roos, man. I gotta follow that cat on Instagram at the very least, man. Top 5 pound for pound. Joshua asked a good question, because I was quick to throw Ward in there, but in no particular order, and I hope y'all don't kill me for this. No particular order. I got Terence Crawford. I got Rigo. I got Lomo. I got what's this kid's name? Yeah, I'm blowing on this purple skunk, so I'm at a loss, fellas. Forgive me. I said Terrence. I said Rigo. I said Lomo. Heavyweight. I wouldn't even pick a pound for pound in the heavyweights, and then that's where it gets kind of murky. So I'm not picking no little guys neither. I'm going out here on the reach in terms of pound for pound, no retired guys. I would say this is a hell of a reach. Triple G. And, of course, Canelo. Yeah, that's my top 5 in no particular order. I'm about to get back to blowing this dope. If y'all want to ask me something cool, if not, definitely great topic, fellas. That's my call.
I mean, thank you for calling in, and I hope you enjoyed the holidays for sure. It is funny, bro. I guess I'm just a real tough critic, man. No wonder some of these fighters don't like me, Matt. Everybody has Crawford, whether they say he's number 1 or they say no order and mention him number at the first one, right? It's like, yo, no order, but Crawford, you know what I mean? So it's like, yo, he's still subconsciously your number 1. Like,
and here's the thing with Crawford is that, I'll put it this way, I'm a huge Crawford fan. You know me. I am. I don't think he dominates 147 like he does 140 or 135. We all know that. 147 is a shark tank at the top. We all know that. But all he needs is a couple wins at that top. If he beats 2 out of the 3 of or 3 out of the 4 of the Sean, Danny, Keith, and Earl, he can lose to one of them. That's okay. But he just needs to beat 3. And that establishes everything. That cements what he is. Because he is a guy that moved up 3 weight divisions. And losing to Earl Spence wouldn't mean that much. It's Earl fucking Spence. Losing to Keith Thurman wouldn't mean that much because it's Keith Thurman. But beating them means so much more.
You know, I'm just so shocked how much attention he gets moving into the division. Like, and I know it's based off skill because, you know, he's a boxer. He's a boxer, but I just don't know. Like, I got to see him at 47, bro. I need to see, is the power going to be the same at 47? Because I don't know. I just need to. And I guess what I rambled and forgot to say was like, yo, again, I got the comparison with Danny. It's like when Danny moved up, he was considered food, bro. Everybody was like, yo, I want some of Danny. No one is calling out Crawford. No one is saying, I want some of Crawford.
Yeah, for a reason. Because Crawford has so much more tools in his tool belt than Danny did. He is a much more gifted boxer. I just think that Crawford has shown in his track record and his resume that he is something special. You don't go through 140 in the fashion that he did without being something special. Danny struggled at 140. He struggled with Lucas Matisse. He went life and death with Lucas Matisse. And while you may say that Crawford doesn't have a Matisse on his resume, I would beg to differ because Crawford ran through everyone in that top 10 at 140 like they were butter. Like it was easy. And Danny didn't have that at 140. Danny struggled at 140.
Oh man, you know, damn, this show is just you're putting me in these. Matt knows how to. We seen a show today, me and my girl, and what's the guy's name with the beard on the show, with the black ink show? Come on, help me with the beard, Come on, Lucy. Don, right? So Don is like, yo, she knows that I love to fucking argue. She knows, not that I love to argue. She knows I blow up. She knows I could go crazy. So she knows the triggers, but she pulls them. And I related to that. And I'm like, oh shit, so does Matt. Matt knows the triggers and he's trying to pull it because it could easily be argued that Danny has a more legitimate 140-pound win.
Agreed. I did preface that with that argument that.
Did you?
Yes, I said.
That's what happens when you get company in the studio mid-show.
Yes, I said that you can argue that Crawford does not have a Matisse on his record or resume. You can definitely argue that.
Yeah, but that's probably why I had to say it a little more with a little bit more emphasis because you kind of brushed it off. Like we have to again revisit this history. We have to go back and let our casual listeners, maybe the pre-Matisse era, right? Like right now, Matisse, he don't got the allure that he had a couple of years ago, but that's what needs to be remembered in these fickle boxing fans' mind is that when Danny fought him, Matisse was quote unquote the boogeyman. Let's not forget Matisse knocked out with a left hook. He did what Gennady Golovkin later done in the future versus Gil by eating a punch and taking and throwing a punch. He did that to Lamont Peterson, who's going to be fighting Earl Spence January 20th. I'm just saying, walk with me if you just started watching boxing. Like, this is how you learn. Let's not forget who Matisse was at one point. So it's kind of that's why I'm always shocked. It's not just you, Matt. Like you heard me ask even Keith. It's like, yo, why is everyone treating? And I get it. I see Crawford's skills, but it's still like, has he really had those? Danny came from behind in every fight. It was like he ain't gonna win. Ha ha! Boom, he won. Crawford's always been the favorite. So how could we really know? I'm waiting for him to beat him.
I'll compare it to this way. You know how after Wilder whoops Thurman in their second fight and the fashion that he did, it was like, wow, the manner in which he did it was impressive. When we think that you should knock this guy out and you do it in a round, regardless of what you think of the opponent, that's what you should be doing if you're that great. I have the same thing with Crawford. The way he's outclassed everyone at 140 is what you should be doing if you're that great. So right now, he has not given me anything to say that Crawford isn't a spectacular boxer and a potential Hall of Famer, and we're watching it like we're watching right now. I think Crawford has shown that.
Is it wrong for me not to be on like of your mindset and to be, you know, I guess cautious and want to see?
I'll put it this way. Do you doubt Crawford in the same way that you doubted Danny moving up to 147? Or did you believe Danny would beat these guys at 147?
Honestly speaking, I thought Danny would do better. I did think he would do better. The Guerrero fight wasn't as clear as I would like. The Paulie fight, like it was, I mean, look at what Porter did and look at what Danny did. But it's all about what you like, really. But, you know, I want domination is like you said, what Crawford has done.
Yes.
Making it look easy. Domination is what Gennady has done. You make it look easy.
Danny never made it look easy.
He never made it look easy. Except, you know, he did make the Matisse fight look easy, but no, because he got hit. He got hit.
I remember I was working at a bar at that time when that fight was live, and we showed that fight to the public, and it was huge because that was a Mayweather card. That was Mayweather versus Robert Guerrero. Oh, was it Canelo? Okay, it was Canelo.
Yeah.
That fight stole the night. Was that fight? I remember it being back and forth. It was everyone was on their feet in the bar for that fight. So I think while Danny definitely is more established as an elite boxer, he never truly looked the part in a way. And that's
Crawford does. Like people, you know, early in, I was already like, wow, Pernell Whitaker, you know, and that's like, whoa, you know, but again, he's coming up from 30 or 26. No, bro.
We definitely didn't start 126. He definitely didn't start 126.
Where did he start? Check the resume. We got to know this for sure because that's the thing. He's just coming from so, you know, little. And hey, Pacquiao did it. Mayweather did it. Crawford might be.
Oscar De La Hoya did it. Oscar De La Hoya did it. Remember, Oscar De La Hoya started at 130.
Yeah, that's right. Look, that's the thing with boxing fans. Even I quickly forgot. And you know, we needed to bounce it back and forth, you know. Maybe Crawford's of that cloth. But I still want to see it. Like, I'm even, and I want the people that listen to this and send it back to them and fucking make our relationship even worse. Understand that I even want like a Diego Chavez fight. Like, I just want a real welterweight. Gary Cochran and Jeff Horn, like, man, those dudes is untested.
Jeff Horn is real. he fought Manny Pacquiao. You can't say he's untested. You may say he's not. You can't even say he's not elite.
All right, so let me ask you a question. How about you paint it this way, right? What about the people that look at that like this? Jeff Horn was 16-0, and he was the guy that robbed Pacquiao. How was that tested?
I'll put it this way, because at that time, we also thought Pacquiao had some left in the tank. We also rated Pacquiao highly. If you didn't rate him in the top 5, he was.
I thought he won. I thought he won.
Let me finish. He 100% was top 10, arguably top 5 at that time. Even if you think Pacquiao won, he went life and death with Jeff Horn.
I ain't see life and death.
Yo, come on.
Jeff Horn is the southpaw equivalent.
That was a 7-5 scorecard either way.
Yo, Jeff Horn is the southpaw equivalent, Australian version, no frills down of Sean Porter.
Let me finish my point, though, because I don't really disagree with that. Even if you think he lost, he must have accounted for himself that he at least belonged at that level. You can't say that he does not belong on the Manny Pacquiao level.
Listen, there's a reason.
Whatever that level is at this point, because I don't know what the Manny Pacquiao level is in 2016-17.
Jesus, bro.
But he's at that level. He is.
I feel like I wish Sherlock Holmes was alive to piece it together for you guys. Like, there's a reason Vasyl Lomachenko fought Gary Russell than 4 straight nobodies. Straight up, really nobodies. Like, before he got to Roman, it was 4 straight nobodies. That's the reason Jeff Horn is fighting Gary Cochran. We know Gary because of Jeff Horn, and we know Horn because of Pacquiao. Yes. These guys are not relevant. You continue to make them relevant on this show, bringing them up and trying to give them credit. He needs to go get a real win to get credit, but instead, he is not in control of his career. He is being told what is best to do, and what is being best is for you to get this easy win over Cochran, you know, and then we're going to get you a big fight with Crawford, but you're going to lose, and we're never going to talk to you nice again. But we're going to talk to you nice right now because we need you to be around for Crawford. Stop it with the lies.
Let's be honest. Top Rank does give their champions easy touches, especially right after they win a belt. Oscar Valdez is still getting soft touches.
Of course.
Gilberto Ramirez is still getting soft touches.
Of course. Who's Gilberto Ramirez fighting? Someone we've never heard of. They invented guys.
Jesse Hart wasn't a soft touch, but he
was His new fight.
Who he is fighting now is a soft touch 100%, but Jesse Hart wasn't. I'll give him that.
I just know that his name got like 2 T's back to back. That's how bad it is.
Look, I don't blame, or I shouldn't say blame. I understand and assumed they were going to give Jeff Horn a soft touch after that Manny Pacquiao fight, especially when Manny Pacquiao denied the rematch. Because remember, that was what the plan was Manny Pacquiao versus Jeff Horn 2. And that fell through. And all this is a setup for Terence Crawford. And I think Jeff Horn's even going to show in that fight that he's a top 10 welterweight.
All right, so his name don't got two T's. It's 2 B's. Habib Hamed. Who is he? Or Habib, right? Let's try and make it sound better. Habib Ahmed? Who is he, though?
I have no idea.
That's what I'm saying, bro. It's unfair, man. He's from Ghana. Yo, it's the new Joseph Ebeko. Let's see what he does. He's got a draw versus George Bamson. And this fight took place in Ghana. And guess what? George Bamson? His record is 3-7-0, man. Come on.
Hey, Ghana's producing some good talent recently. Let's be honest.
I'm just saying, bro. Top Rank has a formula. I'm not saying it doesn't work. Like Crawford, Bradley, these guys are making buku dollars. They're set up. And if they continue to follow the Crawford could go down, like you said, in history. He's got to keep following the plan. But we can't ignore that there is a fucking plan in place. And you could go to the fork in the road and choose to go right or left, because I don't want that to sound like right is not doing what Bob tells you, because obviously your bank account indicates something totally different. But let's go out to Saucy Boy in Oakland.
Yo, can y'all hear me?
Loud and clear.
Sorry, I'm on BART right now. It's like our equivalent of the subway in the Bay, but I had to call in on this. Before I get to my pound for pound list, I want to clarify what pound for pound means for me. Pound for pound, for a fighter to be on my pound for pound list, that means he has to be dominant in or around his division. So everyone outside of the heavyweights, for example, Terence Crawford, I think Terence Crawford could beat anyone at 140 and give everyone at 147 a challenge, and even can stick up to one of the 154 pounders. Andre Ward. I don't even think anyone can cruiserweight could have beat Andre Ward. So he's my number one pound for pound. But now that he's retired, my number one pound for pound in order goes: number one is Terence Crawford. Number two is Gennady Golovkin, only because I kind of have to give him that. Although I did think he lost the Jacobs fight, he got the ding, he won. I'll still keep him in my pound for pound.
You're serious?
Guillermo
You're serious?
Number three. Guillermo Rigondeaux is my number three. Vasyl Lomachenko is my number four, and my number five is. It was tricky, but you know what? I'm gonna give it to Mikey Garcia. I think Mikey Garcia deserves the top five. I don't think anyone can beat him at 140 currently. I don't think anyone can beat him at 135. Even Robert Easter, I think he pieced Robert Easter up. That's just my opinion. A couple honorable mentions. Be on the lookout for Alexander Usyk, Naim Oui. Deontay Wilder would make it right outside. Anthony Joshua as well. So yeah, but that's my top five pound for pound.
Good shit, bro. Good call there. Let me see. We got Mel in the ATL.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Man, I'm having a problem putting Canelo in the top 5 pound for pound as a fighter. Does anybody on the panel think he could beat the Charlo brother at 160 or even Danny Jacobs right now?
Yo,
man.
man.
Pick him? Not necessarily, but can he win? Absolutely.
Yeah, I think he can. I'm not saying I'll pick him either,
Like,
right?
You put your money on.
But that doesn't matter. But right now, that's what we're talking about. Right now, Canelo has a better resume than Charlo and Daniel Jacobs. He does, and he has moved up weight classes and won championships at weight classes.
Skill-wise, though, like from the eye test, I mean, I think you got to factor it into your top 5.
Yo, how could you question skill?
Jeff Horn.
How could you question Canelo's skill after that Triple G fight? I mean, he showed everything you want to see from him.
He got beat up. He got beat up, man. In my opinion, he got beat up. He lost that fight. He lost to Triple G. And even if we're doing just by resume, Jeff Horn should be top 5 pound for pound because he beat the number 2 at the time pound for pound Pacquiao. If we're just doing resume, you know what I'm saying?
Cut it.
Stop it.
Hey, but I think pound for pound, you got to put Terence Crawford. You got to put Keith Thurman. I will put Earl Spence. Who else? Right now, those are the only 3 I could think of off the top of my head. Because I had Ward on there. We're not doing retired fighters, and then possibly Rigondeaux. But I think Rigondeaux got a lot to prove still.
All right, brother. Well, let me get to some other callers. Obviously, thank you for calling in, Mel. We're going to go out to Jay from Orlando. Remind everyone, this is an on-demand show brought to you by Bruce. It's been a long time since we've done an on-demand, but it does feel good to be wanted. So thank you, Bruce, for, getting us out to bed, right? We're going to Jay in Orlando. What's up?
Nothing much, fellas. Nothing much. Hey, man, I'll say like this. My pound for pound list, the number 1 guy separated himself from the pack, and then everyone else, I just feel like after that, is just pretty much all on the same level. So my number 1 is Terence Crawford, and that's because he did Undisputed. He did something that we asked all our champions to do. So it doesn't matter if you feel as though, like, hey, the division was weak. He moved up the division and wiped it out and he cleared it out. And he had guys that you can definitely say that could have stayed around, or they were avoiding guys that he fought. let's not forget that Danny gave Victor Postol step aside money, and he went in there and he wiped Victor Postol out, and they don't even talk about Victor Postol anymore. So my number 2 guy after that, well, my number 2 through the rest. My number 2 through 5 is all the same. So I would go with Lomachenko. I would go Rigondeaux. I would go with Lomachenko, Rigondeaux, Canelo, and I would throw my boy One Time in there. Those would be my top 5 that rounded out.
All right, Jay. What up, man? Damn, Jay, you still ain't get them days off, man. You playing games. 300. Mr. 900 called back in. I want to believe you're a first-time caller. 303-900. What up? Damn, 303.
Hey, what's going on, Boxing Voice?
What's up, brother? Who's this? Where you calling from? And get off that speakerphone. Shots fired. Uh-oh.
This Ese Plebe, Colorado.
Ese Plebe. Oh, what's up? My Facebook friend, right? Right?
Yo. Going on, Ness.
What's going on, brother? Talk to us in Colorado. Man, I was just out there in Denver. You good over there? Yo, Colorado got shitty connection, bro. He dropped off.
How do you spell that?
What? Ese Plebe, man, that's just Spanish. I don't, you know. We going on to the more Spanish 60 people.
Seconds.
We got Nelson in Santo Domingo. Not Santo Domingo. Santo Domingo is actually a city in the country. He's in the Dominican Republic. So, Nelson, where are you in DR?
I'm here in Santo Domingo City, which is the capital of the country.
Okay. So I was right.
I'm Rosa City.
Nice, man. Nice.
Yeah, man. 3 things. First one is I want to talk about Terence Crawford. I think he will do great at 147 pounds because I compare him a lot like Rigo. If you compare Crawford between the skill sets of the fighters on the division below and the division above him, he's above average anywhere, everywhere. You know, you compare him with the
10 seconds
above them all. So I think that he's not that too small guy that can't do well in 147. If he was a much smaller guy, maybe I have some doubt about it, but he's not that small. He has a body that could do well in 147 pounds. So I don't think why he will not do well. I think he got dominated the same way maybe he dominated the 140 pounds. And for example, you have Rigo, which is a small fighter. And he's been dominating much bigger guys. And we have a classy fighter with that good technique, defense, and a good offense like Crawford. There's no reason to believe that he wouldn't do it on 147 pounds. Another thing is that I want to give my thoughts about the Lomachenko and Rigo fights. Everybody's saying and leaning towards Lomachenko advantages on the weight and physical advantages. But I don't think that Lomachenko really has that advantage. That he can bet on that or lean on that to win the fight. Because when you look, that Lomachenko weighted 138 pounds when he fought Russell Jr., and then he weighted 136 pounds when he fought Mariaga. So Rigo, he himself said that he will be around 178 pounds for the day of the fight. So it will be a gap around 10 or 11 pounds. And remember, Nonito weighted around 140, 42 pounds when he fought Rigo. So in terms of physical advantages or the weight advantage, it will be so much outweighed comparing when he fought Nonito. And when it comes to the skills, they're very, very even. I think Rigo is a little bit above because you know that Lomachenko used to fight mid or in the inside range. And Rigo being the better counterpuncher, I don't think Lomachenko will be able to get inside or fight at mid range because if he decides to fight at mid range, he'll need to be a very active fighter in order to maintain the mid range. And he will be on Rigo's range. You know that Rigo has 3 inches more on the advantage of each, you know. So it will be difficult for him to get inside. I think he's gonna get frustrated. He won't be able to do so, you know, to find the inside to change angles like he does with any of the other fighters. And remember, Rigo is as fast as he is. Maybe he's not that fast, but it's very, very close to him in terms of speed. So I don't think that Lomachenko will be able to dominate Rigo the way that people are saying because only of the weight or the physical advantage. Rigo is too classy, he's too good. His footwork, his defense, the counter punching, he's too good. He's too good.
All right, Nelson. Well, listen, man, thank you for calling in. Definitely stay in touch, man. We're thinking of doing a little TBV DR for Matty Boy's around Matty Boy's birthday. So we're gonna need the weed, man. Even though you don't probably indulge in all that, but you're gonna have to make some connections for us. That's just the way it works.
Have we decided on the Dominican Republic?
I mean,
you know me. I wanted to go DR for Border Wars, man.
I know. No, we're gonna. I mean, it's decided. It's just a matter of booking. It really is, and putting it together because I want to get more people. Like I would love Bruce to come out. Maybe Jose. You know, do a big one, dude. Because this is it's really what I've always dreamed is when Jose always wanted us to do appreciation nights. And I always wanted the appreciation night to be what this is going to be or what I hope this turns into, right? I'm going to start it by me and you going out there. We'll see who else jumps along, right? So, Nelson, we'll be expecting you. Ali and Dago, what's up, brother? We're going to go out to Ali, get his pound for pound.
Ali Kumaye, thank God that niggas seen another day.
Yes, sir. What's up, Boxing Voice? I'm gonna go. Look, man, I base my pound for pound list off of people being undefeated. So not all undefeated fighters gonna be in here. You know, that's just the way I do it. So I got Crawford number 1, Rigo number 2, Thurman number 3, Spence number 4, and Mikey Garcia number 5. That's just my list. So for all y'all in the chat, want to yell and be like, "Oh, he didn't put Loma in there." I can't put a guy with 9 wins and 1 loss in there. So if he beats Rigo, then I'll throw him in there because that means to me he did something. Yeah, he beat Russell, he beat Nicholas Walters, but you know he has to beat Rigo for me to throw him in my top 5. So if he doesn't do that, then he won't be in my top 5. So that's my top 5. And that's my call, Boxing Voice.
Matt, I think I had an epiphany on this show.
Very quickly, I just want to ask. Did Ali just have Spence on his list, not Thurman, not Lomachenko, and then say Loma needs to beat Rigo for me to put him on my pound for pound list, but yet leave off Thurman, who's more established in the welterweight division with better names than Earl Spence? Did I forget that? Did I miss that?
No,
or the Spence fans just ignoring Sean Porter and Danny Garcia as wins?
I had something, but I no longer have it.
Sorry, Ness.
Oh, Joe, what up? Actually, the ringer status, right? Oops. And the intro. I'm all behind
Mr.
him.
Info Joe.
This portion of the show
Matt's
we
fault.
call In the
Mr.
Know,
Info Joe.
presented by my brother.
Yo, what's up, my boxing brothers? First off, happy holidays to all the listeners and everybody on the panel tonight. Stay safe, smoke an eighth, and make sure you get the food all over the place. Yo, I'm picking Crawford for number 1 because he's the only undisputed champ in all of boxing and skill set. I'm picking Rigo and off skill set. I'm picking Loma off skill set. I'm picking Thurman off resume, and I got Triple G because he is on his way to be he's been reigning at 160 for a long time, so I had to throw Triple G in there. And for you, Matt, Danny, when Danny fought at 140, the division was better, man. I think Kendall Holt could, in his prime, would have beat Postol. Peace.
Man, Kendall Holt will be postal right now.
Are we forgetting that Victor Postal beat Lucas Matisse? The guy that Danny beat, Victor Postal beat and actually finished.
Yeah, years later.
Hey, it's a win. It's the name on the ledger.
And after, and what has Lucas done after? Like I'm saying, he's never been the same after Danny.
What do you mean? He looked great against Emmanuel Taylor, and he looked great against Provodnikov.
No, Taylor's not. Oh yeah. Good call. He did. I was at the Provodnikov fight. And Taylor's a 140 pounder that they used to face him at 47. So it was really a 140-pound fight, and Taylor's never been on that level. While he did good versus Broner, he didn't even win enough rounds to be competitive. It was just like good because his style.
But I would say Matisse did a better job against Taylor than Broner did.
No fucking way.
I maybe have to go back and watch the Broner.
Wait. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't remember Lucas Taylor to be not like that. I remember Broner Taylor.
I don't remember Broner.
I was at Broner Taylor. No, it was exciting. It was good. Broner put on a show. He dropped him with a big uppercut, and then like end of the round, and the fucking arena was lit. I mean, I'm biased. I was at the arena. It was a really good atmosphere. You know, that rapper got punched in the face. It was crazy.
Right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, man. Let's go to Eddie from New York.
What's going on? I'm gonna have to go with Triple G at number 1. Can't deny his greatness right now. I'm gonna have to go with. I'm gonna have to say Canelo. Canelo at number 2. My man's faced everybody. They have to be number 1 and 2, hands down. I might have to say at number 3, just because it's the welterweight division, you got to go with Keith Thurman. Number 3. At number 4, I'm gonna go with Terence Crawford. And at 5, probably give you Lomachenko. And number 6, Rigondeaux.
Whoa. Only 5.
Yeah, that's it. I gave it to you. I want to wish you guys happy Thanksgiving. You guys all the best. Every time I see you guys on Instagram, I got to hit you guys up. And I am definitely, as mark my words today, I don't know, I haven't decided yet what I'm going to get. Is it coffee? I don't know, but today, mark my words, I'm definitely getting on that app and giving you guys some guap. I'm done.
Eddie, thank you for the love. And for those wondering what Eddie's talking about, he means buy us a coffee, which is our little slogan. You can get on our Patreon, which is a $3 level, which is the equivalent of an iced coffee that Matt prefers. He's kind of actually, Matt, man, you're like my boy for real. I've been drinking the same iced coffee for a long time. We're only different, Matt and I, between sugars and creams.
Less, of course, because I'm healthier.
But you're like
you get 8 creams, 8 sugars, and like pumps of caramel and shit. Like, come on, man. Like,
whoa. First of all,
be real here. Like,
first of all, I'm down to 6, and I do 4 creams, and I do 2 pumps of caramel.
No, I was just in fucking Florida with you. You got 8 and 6. That was your order.
Yeah, but I said I'm down to 6 now. I'm down to 6 because after getting the 8 and 2 with 4, I realized, I could drop on the sugar because I'm adding the caramel. Remember, the caramel is new. When we were in Bama, I didn't do the caramel. And let's be honest with the people. I don't really buy coffee here. That's only when I'm with you. You know, I don't frequent Dunkin' Donuts when I'm at.
But they sponsor the show. Just saying, Dunkin' Donuts.
I wish they did sponsor the freaking show. Let's go out to Scorsese.
Oh, Adonis Stevenson, number 1.
Yo. You damn right he is. I'm gonna tell you why. Terence Crawford, if you ranking him, understand his best win might be a small dude that hurt him several times in the fight. And that dude was coming off a year layoff, just like Lomachenko's best win. So, we can rank these titles all we want and post all we want, but let's be real. What the hell have they done? I'm just gonna be flat out. I know he beat Matisse, whatever. What's Matisse doing at that point? I like Terence Crawford. I got Terence Crawford number 4. And number 5, I got the boy Keith Thurman. I'm getting iffy on that, but I'm gonna give him his props for beating Sean Porter. He beat Sean Porter. He beat He beat Danny Garcia. I didn't like the performance in the Danny fight. At number 3, I got Badou Jack. I don't care what the judges say. He outperformed Terence Crawford in the unification fight. He beat the hell out of his man. Terence Crawford was running from Postall, in my opinion. Too much movement. He wasn't fighting him. It was a boring fight. Badou Jack has one of the best resumes the last 2 years. Darrell Groves, who putting on spectacular performance right now. Butte, what's my kid name? James DeGarry beat the hell out of. He moved up a weight class, got a stoppage the other day. That's my number 3, man. My number 2, man, Alexander Usyk. Shout out to the guy who said he was giving Alexander Usyk a shout out the other day. He's the way Lomachenko should be doing it. I wish Lomachenko could do it the way Alexander Usyk is doing and not fighting these 22-pounders that somebody said they're going to put him on the pound-for-pound list for beating. And number 1, you're damn right, Adonis Stevenson, the only man that was on the list about 4 years ago that has not lost today. Okay? He was there. You can't mark him out by fighting around him. His performance, I'm going to put it like this. He KO'd the number 1 man. That was his doing with 1 punch. Say what you want. He went up and weighed and done it as the underdog. Tony Bell, you knocking out heavyweights, top 10 heavyweight today. Adonis Stevenson clowned him in less than half of a fight. All right, let's go to let's go to Tavoris Cloud. If we giving Sean Porter credit, understand Tavoris Cloud had more fucking title defenses than Sean Porter could ever dream of, but he stopped Tavoris Cloud, not just beat him and almost lost to him like Thurman.
Yo.
So you're right. I'm putting no. Don't go there, Ness. Don't go there. Let me go. Because Tavoris Cloud fought Beterbiev after that and got pieced up. Okay, that's what's supposed to happen. And meanwhile, Porter's getting pieced up by Granados, trying to get love off of beating Adrian Broner and shit like that. So my list is legit, G. My list is telling these fighters do it the way you're supposed to. That's my call. I'm out. I hope y'all start loving boxing like I do and covering it the way I do, and you'll get the right fighters, the right fights, and we'll foster competition the right way. I'm out.
Oh, yeah. Hold up. Anyway, go ahead. You can leave. It's all good. You got your call. You did your thing, fams. You did your thing. We're going to go to the Rigondeaux camp. Alex, what up?
Yo, what's going on, man? Can you hear me?
Of course.
Oh, sweet, man. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just going to call in. You know who I got at number 1? Rigondeaux for sure, man. Guy's a beast. He's gonna knock Lomachenko out. Straight out east.
Yo, could you tell me why? Because I'm gonna pick Rigo, right? But like, I think I need some help. Like, you know,
no, man, like easy, man. This is gonna be broken jaw or orbital bone, one of the two. Early rounds. He's gonna have to quit in his corner, man. It's just easy as that, man. It's too precise. The guy hits too precise, bro.
But what about the fact that Lomachenko is so fast, moves around, throws a lot of punches from different angles, different positions, very active.
He's not. I mean, he is very active, but he's not gonna be that active against Rigondeaux, man. You're not gonna be that active when a guy's hitting you hard and precise back, man. Right. That's why Mayweather calms these people down. You know what I mean? Like. The reason he does this is not because he hits you super hard. It's because he.
Ooh, I think he was gonna say precise there, but is Skype
precise? Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, what happened?
You hear me? Yeah, you're good. You're good. You just went out a bit right there.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, the reason is because he hits you precise, man. And when Lomachenko goes in there and he starts getting hit like precisely when he misses and when like he does all this crazy volume. Where he starts getting punished for like putting the jab out there too much because he does that pity pad jab a lot, and when he does that too much, he's gonna get punished every time with hard left hands, bro. Rigondeaux don't play around, bro. He's not like Lara and other Cubans, bro. He actually hits you really fucking hard with that left hand. And I'm telling you, so he's not gonna throw like that.
Yeah, but where's your level of confidence? Where's your level of confidence in terms of percentile? Where are you at?
I would say I'm 90% sure he's going to win. The only reason I'm not 100% sure is because of his age. He's not even the size. It's the age, right? Like, he's getting kind of old. At a certain age, you know, like, you lose that quickness when you see, like, a reflex, you know what I mean? Like, seeing punches, you don't see them as well. I think that's why he got caught it with Amagasa. So I think he could go down. That's why he goes down now, because he's getting old. But he still hits too hard, bro. He hits very hard, man. Most people don't know that.
Does
But
he
I
go
think he's
down
gonna-
at all? Does he go down this fight at all?
I think he might go down because I think when he starts hitting Lomachenko is like he's still young. He's gonna try. I hope he's not gonna pussy out. He's not gonna do like Nicholas Walters and quit. I think he's gonna freaking fight, and I think then he might put him down. But doesn't matter, bro. Like it's gonna be a broken jaw all real bone. When you start getting into that fire for fire with Rigondeaux, you're gonna lose, man. He hits too quick, too strong, too precise.
Yo, Alex, where are you calling in from again?
Yo, Canada.
Canada, that's right.
Yeah, but
One day, man. One day we'll meet. Listen, Alex, great call. Thank you as always. Damn, it's time to roll out. I'm starving too. It's just that time. Matt, I don't know. There's really no final thoughts to give since, it's just a list. And you gave yours and that shit don't exist for me. I am happy, happy to hear that so many people have Crawford as their number one already. I find it.
Another name I hear a lot is Mikey Garcia.
Yes.
I kind of forgot about that one, to be honest, before the show. And I understand why people put him in there at the top 5. I understand that.
You know why they put him in there?
Why?
Because you still haven't clipped that quote, and you and I still haven't done that show that is based off the interview that we have on Patreon only, where Thurman goes in to detail about that fight with he and Mikey having an opportunity to really prove if he's a 147-pounder. I'm just saying, head on over to patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice and make sure you check out that 3-hour one-on-one with Keith Thurman. Plus, you can check out some behind-the-scenes footage at Rigo, Camp Rigo. We also got drives and from our patrons, Coach Mitty included. I'm hearing that they're loving those the best. I think we might have to build the show around one of our vlogged car trips or road trips, whatever you want to call them. But
something like that. What do you mean?
What?
Like actually post it, or what do you mean by that?
Ooh, I don't know if we could post that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's Patreon only, homie.
That is 100% Patreon only.
It's some behind the scenes shit going on there. But yo, again, another quick shout out to my man Bruce. Gotta definitely appreciate Bruce, man. You gotta appreciate a loyal listener, man. That needs his TBV. Supporter, a Patreon. He's a boomerang. Head on over to patreon.com. Check out the many tiers. Don't forget, if you're on that $15 tier, you're getting that Patreon only shirt as well for Christmas. I would have showed it to you, but I don't have it on. But yeah, that's it. Matt, you got anything?
Not really. My final thoughts are just that this argument, while subjective, while divisive, while it gets people riled up, it's all about us talking about this current generation of elite, talented boxers. I think we forget often about how talent-filled our generation is. That this generation right now is one of the best and one of the deepest in a long time. I think we forget that. We lose sight of that. And a quick little pound-for-pound discussion, kind of reinforces that. It gets us back into focus and makes us really, I think, appreciate all of these super talented athletes, these super talented fighters, these guys that we spend so much time investing into and caring about on a certain level. I think these discussions are good. They're healthy in some way, even if they can get a little bit hectic and chaotic. I'm Matt the Hipster Hunter. You can find me at Mixed Combat News on Twitter, Matt Hunter TBV on Instagram. My MMA podcast, Mixed Combat Radio, is on Patreon, SoundCloud, YouTube, iTunes, etc. And remember, actually, I don't think we've said it. Tomorrow morning, we'll be back with a little TBV in the morning, with a bunch of UK topics, bunch of little tiny quick shows. So all you UK listeners, and you're hearing this on the podcast, get your clocks ready for early in the morning, our time. And we're going to be back with at least a few shows. At least.
Yeah, probably like 12 or 2 o'clock UK time, something like that. I think it usually works out to. I'm not really sure, but I was gonna say something that won't be said today. That is for sure. Goodbye.